what if the Earth had rings like Saturn? This question comes from Nathan, who asks, what would happen if the Earth had rings like Saturn? Simple. We'd all spend less time looking at our phones and more time staring at the sky, probably while walking into things. But let's dig deeper. Let's say that one morning Earth wakes up with a gift from the cosmos, an enormous set of planetary rings just like Saturn's, wide, thin, shimmering arcs of rock and ice, circling the globe in perfect symmetry. They are stunning. Instagram crashes within the hour. But what would it mean? What would life be like on a ringed Earth? First, a few facts. Saturn's rings are mostly made of water ice, with pieces ranging from specks of dust to small boulders. They're incredibly thin, only a few dozen meters high, but they can stretch for hundreds of thousands of kilometers across. On Earth, such rings would have to hover in a stable orbit, likely around the equator, and that's already a big deal, because if you live anywhere near the equator and you look up, you won't see stars anymore. You'll see the sky sliced open by a wide, silvery band, arching from horizon to horizon. It wouldn't be faint either. The rings would reflect sunlight like a giant floating halo. Nights would be brighter. Stargazing? Mostly canceled. Romance under the stars? Replaced by romance under the rings. If you live further from the equator, say Paris or Moscow, the rings would still be visible, but lower in the sky, like a giant archway leaning just over the horizon. And in polar regions, no rings for you. The Earth's curve and axis would keep the view blocked. The auroras will have to do. So, okay, they look beautiful. But what about the science? For one, Earth's climate would change. The rings, reflecting sunlight, would bounce energy back into space. That's less solar heating near the equator. In simple terms, tropical zones get cooler. Some deserts might shrink. Snow could last longer in the Andes. The global climate system, already a chaotic mess, would gain a giant new variable. Meteorologists would need better coffee. And then there's the shadow. Rings cast shadows. Big ones. Depending on their tilt and structure, a portion of the Earth could fall under a massive ring shadow for days or even weeks during the year. That means colder winters, crops failing in some regions, weird patterns of light and dark that confuse animals, confuse plants, confuse time zones. You thought daylight savings was annoying? Imagine a shadow that lasts until April, but let's say we adjust. We're humans after all. We build cities in deserts and live near volcanoes. We can deal with a little cosmic shade. Now let's talk rockets. Launching satellites becomes harder. A dense ring system is like flying through a high-speed gravel storm. You want to send a spacecraft into orbit? You better calculate a safe ring gap, or get ready for an expensive kaboom. Our whole space infrastructure would shift. Orbits would need rewriting. Elon Musk might cry. And now for the fun part, the rings themselves. Where did they come from? On Saturn, we think the rings were formed when a moon got too close and was shredded by gravity. What's called the Roche limit. The same could happen here. Maybe a captured asteroid. Maybe a moon that lost a fight. One way or another, Earth got hungry and made a mess. But a mess that lasts. Rings don't stay forever. They're fragile. Over time, they drift, collide, collapse. Maybe a few million years, maybe just thousands. And when they fall hard. Debris raining from the sky, streaking through the atmosphere like burning hail, a meteor storm the size of Texas. But while they last, Earth would become an art piece, an icon. Imagine your morning commute with the sky painted by lines of light. Imagine teaching kids that the bright ribbon across the sky isn't a cloud or a plane. It's the bones of an old moon glowing in the sunlight. South. What if the Earth had rings like Saturn? Your life would change. The planet would look different. The night sky would be replaced by something grander, stranger, and a little colder. And somewhere, probably near the equator, someone would be selling overpriced ring view real estate. Because if there's one thing more powerful than orbital mechanics, it's capitalism.